The Evangelist. This one directed by Joseph Peppertone. The story here focuses on a young man who is seemingly rather awkward and shy, and he's very devout to his religion. However, unbeknownst to his neighbours, the guy is actually a serial killer and kills people in the name of religion. Concurrent story to that, we have these two police detectives that seem to be tracking him down and kind of looking back on a previous similar serial killer 30 years ago. Could these two cases be connected? You'll have to watch the movie to find out. So let's talk about The Evangelist. I've got to say, first of all, this is a extremely low budget film, so check those expectations. Secondly, although this is packaged like a horror film, it really isn't. And even I would say you can class this film as a serial killer film. And sometimes with serial killer films, you can say, oh, is it like a slasher? It isn't. It's really like just like a crime film, but kind of dressed up maybe a bit like a horror because of the somewhat religious overtones. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about, really, is the religious overtones here, because I feel that's just kind of window dressing. I don't really feel this has any relevance to the actual story, and the kind of the kind of religious touches that they've put on seem to be just very superfluous, and you don't really get the impression that this guy is truly believes he's killing in the name of God, because he kills someone just because they're rude and things like that, or they took a cookie without asking. So there doesn't seem to be any kind of actual religious fanaticism going on with it. It just seems like an excuse to have this theme, basically. So the second thing to talk about is the two kind of storylines that run concurrently. So we have the scenes with these two police detectives, and one of them is this kind of old grizzled detective, and one of them who's just a months off retirement, Lethal Weapon cliches and all of that. Then we got this new upstart in who's this young guy, and there's these really awkward comedic moments between them where the old one keeps saying all these references, trying to be kind of meta, and they're all old stuff, and the new guy doesn't know what he's talking about. And unfortunately, the humour here is played out through the whole film with these two guys with this back and forth, and it just doesn't work. The other thing that I tell you about these police detectives is that their story really goes absolutely nowhere, and how these guys come together. We literally have a witness just strolled in the police station about 15 minutes towards the end of the film and go, oh yeah, I found out this guy's killing people, and that's the investigation. We don't really see any police work up until that point, so it's a bit stupid. And the amusing thing is their budget really shows through, especially on these kind of police scenes, because the actual police station literally looks like it's been filmed in someone's house. We even see like what looks like a front door in the kind of the background and stuff like that, and the kind of the lounge is basically made out to look like an office. And we have a scene where this kind of this young police officer is driving to try and get somewhere fast and through traffic. I thought, you're a policeman. Where are your sirens, for Christ's sake? Put them on. But no, there's none of that. So the actual serial killer side of stuff is a little bit more interesting. So that's down to the acting of Keith Collins, because he has this kind of like sort of spaced out vibe to it. But it kind of works with the character. You're not quite sure if it's necessarily he's just acting is very wooden, or whether it's his character is actually meant to be this weird kind of like monosyllabic kind of guy. I actually think it's the latter, to be fair to him. And his character is definitely the best thing. He seems like it could be a little bit more interesting. We're told at one point he's talking to a psychiatrist, and I was like, oh, what are your hobbies? He's like, oh, well, cooking and cleaning. But the guy's built, so I feel that could have been maybe should have been like a Red Dragon kind of situation going on there, and it would have been this is an odd thing not to bring up. So overall, there's very little actual gore in this. There's a couple of kind of killings, but it's the disappointing thing with me, as I say, is that it's such a kind of amateur production. Although the camera work and the framing and the cinematography wasn't too bad, I will give it that. But the religious side of stuff just seems to be kind of slapped together and has no real relevance to the actual film, and kind of is just there to kind of look cool. For example, when these guys killing stuff, he's killing them on an altar with just crucifixes hanging in the background, and just, I don't know, it just doesn't work, I don't think. Say, would have been nice maybe to kind of delve a little bit deeper into this kind of character. He definitely has a bit of a Dexter Morgan vibe going on, but it's rather squandered, I've got to say. And the ending, the final shot of this film does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'll give this movie a 3 out of 10. That's purely down to Keith Collins' character here, I feel, is a little bit more interesting. This is why it's not a complete write-off. Anyway, have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.